Hey everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to continue talking about the NPCs of Stardew Valley. Last time we talked about Alex, his depressing backstory, and whether or not the growth he experiences makes him a good dude at the end of the day. Today we're going to talk about a spouse that experiences virtually no growth at all. As I'm writing this script, I'm starting to wonder just how long this video is actually going to be. It's time for Ramblin' Sam the Music Man to make his debut, but is anyone even going to care? Honestly, I didn't plan on doing Sam's video for today. I was going to go with either Elliot or Emily, depending on whether we got more votes for the survival burger or the lobster. But then I realized that I recorded all of Sam's heart scenes when I was getting all the bachelors to 10 hearts for the cheating cutscene, and well, I think that really defines Sam as a marriage candidate for me. Like, if he's there and I have a Joja-Cola, I might as well throw it his way. But I'm not going to go out of my way to find him because I really just don't care about anything he has to say. If you care more about me than I care about Sam, remember to subscribe to the channel to find out when more videos are coming out, and if you want to keep me from having to drink dirty cans of soda that I fish out of the river, consider checking out the link to my Patreon in the video description. Anyway, let's get to it. Sam lives at 1 Willow Lane with his mother Jody, his brother Vincent, and, starting in year 2, with his father Kent. We've actually covered everyone in the family now except for Sam, but the basic rundown on this family is that Jody and Kent got married young. Jody almost certainly regrets that. Kent came back from the war with some mental and emotional scars at least, and Vincent is not an exceptionally intelligent kid. But what about Sam? How does he fit into the family dynamic? Well, Sam actually picks up some of the slack behind the scenes, but he's somehow still incredibly immature in other ways. Sam's first heart scene will clue you in on the fact that Sam is a musician if his bedroom didn't already do that. He tells you he's trying to get a band together and asks what kind of music they should play. No matter what you pick, he'll agree. So if you want to hear some honky-tonk country music, this is your chance. Sebastian and Sam are ready to go on tour, but they're going to need a drummer. His 3-heart scene is pretty unique in that you can only see it in the first year of your game. If you're like me and you don't really care about making friends right away in the game, it's pretty easy to miss this one. But as long as you give Sam a pizza on his birthday and don't completely ignore him, you should do, probably fine, I guess. Sam is taking his brother to the beach and Vincent is playing in the sand. Vincent asks about whether their dad is coming home, and Sam reassures him that Kent will be home soon. Apparently Vincent heard some bad rumors about the Ferngale Republic's troops getting massacred, and Sam says that he shouldn't worry about their father, that he's super duper crazy strong or something. Again, no matter what you pick here, Sam will ultimately agree with your position, though he questions whether kids should be exposed to harsh realities. Then he tells you that Abigail is going to be a drummer for the band. That's an interesting segue. Great news. Really happy for you, Sam. I think those 2 heart scenes are pretty decent, to be honest. The first one sets up Sam as a musician and kind of gives you a tie-in to his interests. Kind of like Abigail's scene, where you play games together. It's not groundbreaking, but it lets you know what the character likes. And I think his 3-heart scene is great, he's babysitting his kid brother, and you can tell that he really cares about his family. He wants to protect his brother from some of the nastier parts of life. I think we're off to a pretty good start. Unfortunately, the next 2 scenes just suck. At 4 hearts, you can find Sam in his house just randomly in the kitchen, which, that's fair, it's his house. But when you walk in, he offers to hook you up with a snack. And what better snack for a farmer than just a whole egg? Thank you, Sam. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd get for me. For real though, dude, why? Either way, doesn't matter because he drops it. Zodi swoops in to inspect the damage and you're forced to explain the situation because I guess Sam can't talk to his mom, which is a recurring theme. If you tell the truth or tell Jody that he dropped it on purpose, you lose friendship with him. You only gain affection with Sam by lying to his mother, which is weird. But I'm also a little freaked out by Jody's reaction to a broken egg. No matter what though, Sam says he'll clean up the mess, and if you talk to him later, he actually apologizes to you. What a weird scene. What does that add to his character? Now I know he wants me to cover for him if things go wrong, I guess. I don't really like that scene. 6 hearts is a flop too, and paints Sam as an immature, bratty teenager in a timeline, let me remind you, where you can literally have children with him. You'll find Sam skateboarding outside, and he does a sick grind on Haley and Emily's planter. Unfortunately, that's like somebody's house. And Mayor Lewis shows up in time to scold Sam for messing around with private property, which, make no mistake, is exactly what Sam is doing. Lewis asks you for your opinion, and as much as I hate to ever agree with Lewis on anything, he is completely right here. If Sam's family is so strapped for cash that a broken egg is a big deal, then he probably cannot afford to accidentally ruin somebody's planter. If it costs more than 50 gold, Jody is going to let him have it. So if you say, "You're right, Lazy Lou, Sam should be respectful about private property," Sam will throw a little fit and say he won't ever skateboard again. Lewis tells him the obvious, that he's being difficult and that no one cares if he wants to ride around town, and then Sam just pouts for a second, before asking if he saw his rad trick. I mean, I kinda get it, we all want to rub it in Lewis's face and stick it to the man, but come on, dude. "Fine, I just won't ever do it again." It's like the most childish way to react in that situation. It really turns me off on Sam. His 8-heart scene is cool though. I have no problems with it. In fact, I think it's pretty fun. Especially, again, if you pick the honky-tonk music, because seeing them absolutely jam up there while that track is playing just brings me a lot of joy. Abigail's sprite drumming away with her hair bobbing is actually one of my favorite sprites in the game. And the scene is a good way to show how Sam is growing more mature, you know? He put together a band, and he actually put in time to write a song, book a venue, and he brings the community around to watch. It's fun. But good lord, his 10-heart scene is one of the most uncomfortable things in the game. He'll send you a letter in the mail to come visit him at his house in the evening. When you get there, he sneaks you into his bedroom through the window, like he's taking lessons from Marnie and Lewis or something. But because he lives at home, his mom knocks on the door when she hears something from inside his room. He stuffs you in the bed and hides you like you're a teenage couple having a super secret sexy sleepover. He says he was doing push-ups, and I'm sure she totally believes that, and she does eventually leave. You can, and should, get out of the bed, climb out the window, and never talk to Sam again after that. But instead, if you stay in the bed, you can continue your super secret sexy sleepover, and Sam will say he knew that you two had something special. Honestly, it makes me feel super duper yucky as like a 30-plus-year-old person playing the game to be hiding from Sam's mom in his bed. Like, I have my own property. I worked for Joja before coming here. I'm a fully established adult. But I'm playing kissy face under the covers with this dude that can't have a conversation with his mom about adult relationships. So, maybe earlier, when I said I just don't care about Sam, maybe that wasn't true. A lot of the Stardew Valley marriage candidates feel younger than me, and that number increases as I get older. I understand that. And I've learned from my survey results that a lot of people will not see the farmer as an extension of themselves, but as a kind of a persona. A character completely separate from themselves. And that's fine. But I'm not sure that I'll ever be able to justify in my mind the fact that my character lived in the city and supported themselves with an office job before moving to the valley to get away from it all, and my boyfriend is hiding me under the sheets so his mom doesn't find out that he's a big boy in a big boy relationship. I mean, I've lived 2 adult lives by the time I'm ready to marry Sam, but he pouts when the mayor tells him not to skateboard on somebody else's property. What am I missing? I know I didn't talk about his 14-heart scene, and I know he starts to mature a little at that point, but is it enough? Because I just don't care. And isn't it just because he actually realizes that he's been acting really lazy anyway? What do you think? Leave me a comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.